these, cause they know they can never touch these. So they let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit. You know I can't help but these, cause they know they can never touch these. So they let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit.
I see you in 3D. The dawn is bright for me. No more dark for me. I know you're watching me.
YouTube, this your guy Hector, aka host of the Morning Brew, and like always, I am chilling with my guy, my hermano, Mr. Jigger Man Porto.
I'm telling you, man, no one gives me an intro like you do, bro. I love it. What up, NYY News fam? I love my Fridays when we get to be here at 4 o'clock on the dot, talking all the we want. And man, do the Yankees make it so easy for us, bro.
Oh,
That's
it
the
definitely
one thing
does.
I love about Friday. They make it so easy. A full week of caca that comes from Cashman makes it a beautiful Friday afternoon. How you doing, Bubba?
Bro, it's a beautiful Friday indeed. It is a happy Cinco de Mayo. I got some Coronas in the fridge right now, waiting for me to drink because I need to get wasted because the state of this team got me going a little bit of Lulu. It got me going a little bit nuts. So, right? Before we get into that, let me do a roll call real quick. We got Mr. Tyler Tabbits in the building. Salute to you. My guy Sunil, it's in the building. Senor Acevedo's in the building. My guy Vikings in the building. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. And from the last time that we was both on NYY News TV, you and myself, this been something that a lot of people don't know. We was able to go to WFAN hang out with Tiki and Tierney while they were doing the show. For me, that was a dream come true. How do you feel after that event, you know, being able to go to WFAN on the inside, bro, and actually seeing how they do the show?
Well, for me, it was great. You know, I love being able to hang out with Tiki and then being there with Tierney, you know, me as a Jets fan and Tierney being a Jets fan, but being able to sit there and be in the control room and see how it's all done. And honestly, the best part about it was to see the face that you made the entire time. Like you were just geeking out like a little kid at the candy store, like,
oh yeah,
100%. So I thought it was
we got my guy Richie Martinez is in the chat. Shout out to our guys Tiki and Tierney, also friends of the show, friend of ours, and it was an amazing time going over there, meeting Hoff, meeting the guys that actually run the show from behind the booth, meeting the guys from WFAN. It was a dream come true being in there. I still got my badge from WFAN. Hold on one second. I want to pull it out. I'm gonna laminate this and hang this up, but I'm never gonna lose this. Right. So shout out to the guys at WFAN for my pass over there. I was feeling like a superstar that day. Shout out to the chat. We got Zach Brown is in the building.
What up,
Booger
Zach?
Brain? How you doing, my guy?
Booger Brain says,
Hector, I didn't trip last night. Don't worry, my guy. You don't have to trip all the time. Oh man, Mr. Potato is in the building. Potato, how you doing? Yeah, it's good that you don't trip and stub your goddamn toe every time you go to the bathroom because of the stuff that you say, my guy. But Booger Brain, I appreciate you. Shout out to you, my guy. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Mr. Potato says today is Cinco, so we have an excuse to drink ourselves through what is sure to be a painful game. Absolutely. If you guys saw, they put the lineups out, right? Facts. So let's just talk about this just for a little bit. Hold on one sec. Let me just pull it back up because I was looking at it.
I saw a name in there that we were waiting to get some results on, but it sounds like he must be okay.
Yeah, Harrison Bedard, one of my favorite Yankees to say, but Harrison Bader is in the lineup after that little scary accident that happened in the outfield the other game. So we got Volpe leading it off. Anthony Rizzo, obviously the 2-hole hitter. Gleyber Torres at second base. DJ LeMahieu is cleaning it up at third base. Willie Big Bang Calhoun, and as the DH is the 5-hole hitter. Harrison Bader is in center field. Jack Bowers, aka Jake Bowers, is out there as well in left field. Jose Trevino, our amigo, the catcher. And then we got Ozzy Cabrera wrapping up the lineup. Johnny Brito is on the mound for the Yankees. Listen, we about to start a tough series versus the Tampa Bay Rays. How are you feeling going into this series, bro?
Well, I mean, a little bit better now that I see that Bader's okay, right? I mean, we've been putting out garbage out on the lineup and really worried about what's going on. Listen, we talked about it, bro. There's going to be a series. Like, this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
All right, Tampa's on, hitting on all their strides right now. They're hitting like crazy, and they're tough. I mean, I think it was you and I talking yesterday, right? Where we're like, at the rate they're going, we wouldn't be surprised to see them lock it up before the All-Star break. Like they're on that kind of run, so it's definitely gonna be a challenge, and it makes it really hard to know we got to watch this series, missing all the pieces that we're missing. So, I'm glad it's Cinco de Mayo because at least we have an excuse on why we're going to be drunk by the time the game is over, right?
No, absolutely. Pete, if you could bring up the first tweet, let's talk about the early season overview so far, right? Because when you look at it, there's about 6 teams that were in the playoffs last year that the Yankees, they have better records than. Right. So this year, baseball has threw us in the loop because you got the Texas Rangers who are stepping up. The Pittsburgh Pirates are stepping up. Obviously, Tampa Bay is in first place. But the Baltimore Orioles, who I picked as a team to surprise everybody coming out the AL East, they are second. I think they're third in all of baseball when it comes to records. What do you make for the first month and some change of baseball, bro?
Anybody that was putting money on these specific teams that they had confidence on, including the Yankees, to be the front runners at this point, their bank account is hurting, okay? Because these are names you did not expect on this list, bro. Like, period. Point blank.
You look at the Guardians, you look at the Astros, you look at the Phillies, the New York Metropolitans that's dealing with their starting rotation and old-timers over there, the St. Louis Cardinals, who people say, Yankee fans, they boo, and it's unfair that they boo their players. Did you not see the fans in St. Louis boo that garbage team off of the field? You guys want to talk about Yankee fans, but mention nothing about the Cardinals. They literally booed their entire organization off of the field. So I got to give credit to the Cardinals fans for actually stepping up and booing that product that they have on the field. We're not used to seeing the Cardinals in the disarray that they are right now, but I'm happy that the Cardinals, who a lot of people like to call the Yankees 2.0 in the National League, they fans came out and let their feelings be heard for this organization, rightfully so.
Yeah, bro. You know, and let's be real, the boss himself, Simonetti, he's calling for it, right? We need everybody in the stands. We need everybody chanting, firing. We know what we need. And let's replicate that Cardinals energy, man. Like, we want to see change. Buying tickets, being at the game, buying merch, doing all that. That's not going to change anything. And why do you think Cashman came out and had that press conference? Literally, it was the day after that 12,000 people in attendance. And all of a sudden, there's a press conference. So they're feeling the pinch. We just got to hit it really hard to make sure everybody comes together to get those chants going the right way, man.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll get to the Brian Cashman press conference that he had, because I'm still trying to figure out what he said. But if I can, shout out to my guy Anthony Garcia that's in the chat. Anthony, how you doing? Li Yankee King is in the building. Li, how you doing? Yankee Kyle is in the building. My guy Old Sarge is in the building. How you doing? If you guys can, please hit that like button for the boys. And we got a $2 super chat from Zach Brownis, who says NYY News TV is the best. 20 came soon. Congratulations, gentlemen. Absolutely. It's NYY News TV to the bleeping moon.
Facts. Oof. And if you haven't yet, smash the like for the boys. Get it in there. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Smash it, hit it, all that. But appreciate everybody in the chat. I know you guys are just as wild up as we are on this Friday afternoon. But bro, back to that list. I mean,
yeah,
go ahead. Even say that we're above these people with the crappy record we're at, like, we're still lucky to be in the position that we're in, dealing with everything we're dealing with. So it's crazy. But none of those teams were on my bingo card, bro. Like, point blank.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously, it's still early in the season. I get it, but FanGraph has the New York Yankees at a 14.5% chance of winning the American League East. We are at a 67% chance of making it to the postseason, which I think is a bit graceful for depending on how do you make up this team. But so far, first month of the season, we talked about it. Tampa Bay is running away with this division. People said, oh, it's the schedule they had. You can say whatever excuses that you want. You have to beat the competition that's in front of you. And that's what Tampa Bay is doing. They are beating the teams that they have to face in front of them, and they have the record to prove it. They got the best record in all of baseball, and it's for a reason. And they're hitting home runs. They are hitting home runs. This is the first time since Carlos Pena was slugging away for the Tampa Bay Rays that they had a potent lineup like this that is knocking homers left and right. Li Yankee King with the 199 super chat. If the Yanks get swept in this series over the past 137 games, the Yankees record is 68-69. Li Yankee King, every time he mentions that, I get a little bit of heartburn. I get just a little bit more heartburn, and I get a little bit more balder.
You saw it, right? I had a grab, bro. Like, yeah. Oh, a little more bolder.
Just a little bit more bolder.
A little more bolder.
No, I said a little bit more balder. That's what I said, not bolder. Balder. No, but if we can, let's bring up the next one. I touched about it just a little bit. Pete, if you could bring up the next tweet, it's talking about Harrison Bader, right? And let's talk about the injury that could have happened. That could have been super, that could have actually had him out for the rest of the season. It was reminding me, and I was reminiscing on the 2005 play between Mike Cameron and Carlos Beltran. If you guys remember that, that's when both of those players died for a ball. I think they were playing in San Diego, but they headbutted each other. It was a nasty collision. And this game, that little moment reminded me that thank God Harrison Bader was able to walk off the field on his own, and it seems like it's just a little neck soreness. What's your thoughts on that? And IKF playing left field? Jesus Christ.
You just said it, bro. Like, the end of your sentence was all I need to do to follow up with that. Yeah, I mean, granted, it's another one of those lovely circus moments for our Yankees, bro. Like, we all saw it. We're like, no, stop. Don't stop. Bam, and there goes Bader. Everybody's down. And I mean, we're at that point in the season already where, did it even surprise us? We all just sat there. We're like, really? Really? Like, what else can go wrong? Every news outlet is just saying plagued by the bug, the injuries, they can't catch a break. And it really is starting to feel like we can't catch a break. But we know who to blame. But go ahead.
Oh, God. And that's a perfect segue into the next one, because Brian Cashman came from under his rock to speak to the media. Before we bring up any tweets from it, let's just take a second just to have the conversation. When it comes to Brian Cashman, right, I understand 1998, he was the GM, traded for Roger Clemens and Chuck Knobloch. We got a World Series out of it. 1999, we got a World Series. 2009, we got a World Series. But when are the Yankees going to figure it out that enough is enough? It's like being in a bad relationship, but your parents and your friends around you keep telling you, no, you got to stick it through. You know, you guys have, so many good times and good memories. That has to be a point where you come to conclusion that it's not working out anymore. And a new shift has to happen, because what we're seeing right now with the leadership of this team, it starts from the top. I put Hal up there, and then Brian Cashman, Randy Levine, and all those other bozos, they all trickle down, and it starts from the top, and we have to switch it up. Brian Cashman, you may have been a great GM in the past. You may be an awesome human being as an individual, but when it comes to how you've been controlling and how you've been in charge of this team over the past 10 years, it's not working out. It's not working out. We got to switch it up. The entire
last 10 years need to get yanked, bro. Like, the guy needs to get yanked. And the downside is we can yell it, screaming from the top of our lungs, but the man just got an extension. Real quick, we had a super chat that came in from Mr. Potato. Appreciate the $5 super chat, my guy. If you want some giggles, look at the money the Yanks have on the IL or on guys who aren't even playing. Hicks. Then look at Ray's payroll. Yeah,
bro.
It's funny because you say giggles, bro, but
ain't no happy giggles.
Like, how much longer can we laugh at that? Because it's that bad.
Ain't no happy giggles.
It's that bad. But, man, Cashman's a joke. There's no other way to put it. The man's just a joke. And when he came out with that press conference, you and I talked about it. We talked to Pete about it. What the hell was he saying? It was just words.
I don't know.
Like, none of it made any sense to me. It was just fluff bullcrap to appease people, and I didn't appreciate it at all.
Honestly, I'm still trying to. If you guys ever watched that movie, A Christmas Story, right? I tried to use my Little Orphan Annie decoder ring that's from that movie to try to translate what the hell Brian Cashman said. And still to this day, a couple of days later, I still don't know what he was saying. When you look at the trade history, when you look at the free agent history of Brian Cashman, what you see, there's no excuses for it anymore. There's none. If you guys watch our channel over on the Morning Brew Sports, Yanks Morning Brew, this past Tuesday, I did a deep dive into Brian Cashman's trade history as the Yankees GM since 1998. I'm going to just do a little brief summary of it just so we can have it before we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab your Tums. Grab your Tums.
Grab whatever alcoholic beverage you got next to you. Let's just have this short conversation before anything gets brought up. And we could try to see afterwards, is there any excuses made? So like I said, 1998, he traded for Chuck Knobloch. You're a clown. He traded for Chuck Knobloch and Roger Clemens. That was awesome. Awesome moves. After 1998, when Randy Johnson was a free agent, he decided not to be one of those teams that would end on Randy Johnson because he was too old. Copy. Cool. Leave it at that, right? But then he decided to trade a young Mike Lowe, who we had in our system, for a backup catcher by the name of Mark Johnson, a couple of guys named Todd Noel and Ed Yarnell, who did nothing with the Yankees. And I'm going to ask you, in 1999, right, after Scott Brosius left the team, what position were we desperately in need of at the time? A third baseman, right? But we traded away a young prospect that we had called Mike Lowe, who was a World Series champion, right? Who finished top 5 in batting average when he was with the Boston Red Sox. That's who we traded away, right? But then let's skip over to the future, right? Let's just move a little bit down the timeline. He traded.
Wait, stop. I need you to check your blood pressure while you do that.
Oh no, I'm good.
What up? I see Medina in the chat. Say what up, Medina? How you doing, my guy? All right, go ahead. I just need you to check your blood pressure. How you doing? Give a shout out to Medina.
I'm good. He decided to trade for Danny Nagel from the Cincinnati Reds, who did nothing for this team, right? He signed Mike Mussina, and Jason Giambi, which was good moves, so we'll give him credit for that.
I'll give him those.
But after the 2003 World Series, after we lost to the Miami Marlins, this man decided he wanted to go young, right? So he wanted to youthen up this lineup, youthen up this pitching rotation. So what he did was he let Roger Clemens and Andy Pettitte walk away in free agency. Y'all can say that they wanted to go play for Houston. Copy. They wanted to go play for Houston. But then he traded for, here it is, Javier Vasquez and Kevin Brown, who was literally a year younger than Roger Clemens. How are you going to say you want to get youthful, but you're trading for Kevin Brown, who was 39 at the time? How do you do that?
Because it's always just fluff, bro. It's fluff that comes out of his mouth. Keep going. There's more. Keep it going.
Oh, yeah, there's more. There's more.
Oh, yeah,
then
yeah.
you say you want to get youthful, but you decide to sign Gary Sheffield instead of Vladimir Guerrero Sr., who had a Hall of Fame career. Right? We needed in 2005. He decided to trade for Randy Johnson after declining him in 1999 because he said he was too old and the money was too much. He was on the same contract in 2005 he was on in 1999 when you decided to trade for him.
Yep.
Let's move down the timeline just a little bit because I want to speed this up. After the 2007 season, when the Miami Marlins wanted to blow things up, they contacted the Yankees before Detroit about trading Miguel Cabrera, right? The rumor is it was Phil Hughes, Jabba Chamberlain, and Austin Jackson for Miguel Cabrera. But he said no because Brian Cashman thinks he's too smart. Brian Cashman thinks he's smarter than everybody. He declined trading for a Hall of Famer who has 3,000 hits, who has won a Triple Crown and an MVP. Are you kidding me?
Epic Warrior comes in with the super chat. Down 99. Appreciate you, Epic Warrior. Says Cash could take his process somewhere else. I don't care. Get yanked. I like the get yanked comments.
Richie Martinez, I see the chat that you said Sheffield was a Steinbrenner move, not a Cashman move. But Cashman could have pushed harder in order to get Vladimir Guerrero. So we'll put that as a 50-50, right? But let's keep going down the timeline. In 2010, and also, you guys see the difference when it comes to how much time is in between these major trades. He traded in 1998 for Roger Clemens and Chuck Knobloch, and then the next major trade was Alex Rodriguez in the offseason of 2004, and then 2005 Randy Johnson, and then 2010 for Curtis Granderson. There's a huge gap when it comes to big time trades for this team. But also when it comes to the Curtis Granderson trade, Detroit wanted Phil Hughes back. They were going to send us a young Max Scherzer, but Brian Cashman said he wanted Phil Hughes. Brian Cashman decided again not to trade Phil Hughes and again miss out on another pitcher or another player that's a potential Hall of Famer. We all know about the Cliff Lee situation, about why he didn't want to trade Eduardo Nunez for Cliff Lee, right? Garrett Cole, when he was in Pittsburgh, he didn't want to trade Clint Frazier. He didn't want to trade with Detroit for Justin Verlander before he went to Houston. Right? When are we going to say enough is enough? So I'm going to take a step back because I need a breather, but the floor is yours, brother.
So, guys, just put the blame on me. If the blame goes anywhere, it falls on me. And I'm only answering that because these reporters, for some reason today, didn't want to let me off the hook. So I'm just going to say a bunch of words. Dude, when the thing was, when it was going on, you remember the main guy that was one of the coaches in Waterboy? That was the entire conference, right? He was like, I gotta tell you something about you. Put the blame on me. What the hell? Put the blame on you? Do you think we need permission for that? You think any of us are waiting for you to tell us to put the blame on you? It all falls on you. You're trash, bro. Like, what are you doing? Every time you give me that breakdown, every time I hear the different pieces that he passed on and how he made sure other teams got better while we got worse, it's pathetic. And the fact that we can, whether this team turns it around or not, I'm saying it right now, whether they turn around or not, we get pieces back, we get a pitcher named Rodon that might actually show up ever, doubt it. Even if we turn things around, Cashman, you get all the blame. You're not getting any of the credit for that. This season is another season of us having to sit here and deal with the bull crap that you put in front of us. I'm done. You will not get any flowers from me. I don't care if we go and win a World Series this year.
Yeah.
I am done with Cashman.
Cashman. If you guys are science fiction nerds like myself, right? There's an alternate timeline out there somewhere in the multiverse where the Yankees decide, and after 2007, to trade for Miguel Cabrera, right? Do not sign Mark Teixeira. As much as I love Mark Teixeira and that Gold Glove at first base, the 2009 Yankee infield is probably going to go down as one of the best infields of all times. But just look at this perspective. If we were to trade for Miguel Cabrera, we re-sign Alex Rodriguez, have Miguel Cabrera play first base, A-Rod play third base. That pick that we gave up, that draft pick we gave up to sign Mark Teixeira, turned out to be Mike Trout. Now, there's no way we can actually say that it's a guarantee that pick would have been Mike Trout, because maybe the Angels would have took Mike Trout with the other pick that they had that was before the Yankees. But you just got to put it into perspective. If we trade for Miguel Cabrera, we do not sign Mark Teixeira, we do not lose that draft pick that turned out to be Mike Trout, and we got a lineup in 2012 of Miguel Cabrera and Mike Trout in the same lineup. Two players that were battling for like 5 or 6 years straight who's going to be the MVP. We could have had that. But Brian Cashman thinks he's smarter than everybody else out there and said no. Do you know who the stopgap first baseman was? Because after 2007 is when Jason Giambi became a free agent. Do you know who the stopgap first baseman was between Jason Giambi and Mark Teixeira? Wait. Do you know? You know that guy's name is? A young person by the name, or an old man by the name of Doug Minkiewicz was the stopgap between Jason Giambi and Mark Teixeira. Doug Minkiewicz.
Right. Yeah, great.
And like Ruben just pointed out right there, the Yankees wanted Mike Trout and they were hoping he fell to them. If you watch any interview of any of the scouts from back then, they all point to the fact that the Yankees' #1 pick was Mike Trout. I see you right talking about Booger Brain.
That was solid, Booger. Damn, Hector breaking shit down. Next is gonna tell us who assassinated JFK.
Bro, we gotta talk about the gnomes. We gotta talk about the gnomes.
Well, I gotta tell you, man, you know what? Like you said, and I want to live in that multiverse where they made the right decisions. All right. That's like where one of the ones where that's probably the one where they got that pig Spider-Man, right? I want to be in that multiverse. All right. Because clown shoes. God, where did you pull these names, bro? Like that was literally our stopgap that year.
Well, Jason Giambi was mostly used as a DH in 2008. Yeah. Shout out to my guy Ruben. But the stopgap was Doug Minkiewicz. The same Doug Minkiewicz that went to Queens and did absolutely nothing with the Mets. That Doug Minkiewicz. Oh my God! Well, again, shout out to the chat. Aneurysm. Yeah, let's bring up the next one. Right? Yeah, again, shout out to the chat. Hit that like button for your boys. Because talking about Brian Cashman, Don LaGreca had a great point. Yankees cannot say that they are a championship or bust team and give Brian Cashman an extension. Everything that I just laid out on the table, is there any excuse to keep this person around, to keep this guy around after everything that I just said?
No. Don nailed that. I mean, let's be real. This entire network right here, NyynewsTV, was anybody excited when Cashman got extended? No. Were we all up in arms asking what is going on? Like, we're not seeing any change from him. Again, we're going into a season with the same exact mess that we were in last year, with the same pieces, the same headaches that should have been gone a while ago. And then here you are rewarding the guy. Why? Because Aaron Judge held it down for us all season? Because Aaron Judge knocked out home runs? Because Aaron Judge brought sales and tickets and everything because of the season he had? We all left that season knowing nothing was going to change, especially with this man at the helm. So, Don, we can't say get yanked to Don. Don, salute, because that was perfect.
Yep. My man Rod with
You
a
cannot
$9.99
say
super
we are
chat.
championship and bust.
He said, last captain obvious trade was Benintendi. Yankees front office doesn't know how to hustle, watch Peraza value turn into dust. And that's the sad part. When it comes to the prospects that we have in our minor league system, right? When it comes to Jason Dominguez, when it comes to Spencer Jones, Austin Wells, you want to point at Anthony Volpe and Oswald Peraza. If this group of young prospects, right? If this core group of young prospects that we have right now, if they don't turn into anything, Brian Cashman's tenure, right, as a Yankees GM will be just an utter failure. And also, when we traded for Randy Johnson in 2005, the young catching prospect we gave up for Randy Johnson turned into Deanna Navarro, the all-star catcher that was with the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm going to say that again. You guys remember De'Aaron Navarro, the all-star catcher with the Tampa Bay Rays? That was the young prospect we gave up for Randy Johnson. If we would have kept that young prospect, hold on. If we would have kept that young prospect, you remember in 2006, we had to trade for Sal Fasano because we had no backup catcher? You remember that? We could have used Posada as the DH, and we could have had De'Aaron Navarro as the catcher with the Yankees.
I wonder how stressed out and how annoyed like our scout team must be, because think about it, all the names you throw out that we have that he's given up, like as a scout you're picking all the right pieces, you're getting young core, you're getting all this stuff, and then you've got this idiot that goes and gets rid of them all. Like that has to be frustrating. I didn't even think about it to this second. Like the scouts themselves are like, we're doing our job, we're finding pieces that end up turning out to be amazing players for other teams, but this bonehead gets rid of them all. Like, how could you want to be a scout under this dude? It doesn't make sense.
And Damian Serrano in the chat, appreciate you. He says, let's not forget, he turned away trading Aaron Hicks to the Rockies. They gave him an out, and he was afraid to take it. Absolutely. There's no excuses. There's no more excuse. There can't be any more excuses.
No.
Let's go on to the next tweet, because we're still going to be talking about Brian Cashman with this next one. Pete, if you could bring this one up. Oh, my God. And he said and this is the thing. It's not like the NBA with the G League where you could just pick and choose whatever you want. Is he serious? As people, me and you, Celso, as two guys that we cover both the Yankees and the Knicks, we do a baseball show and then we do an NBA show. What is he talking about? What do you mean the G League? You can't just pick and choose. You can't just pick and choose in the G League. What is he talking about?
Again. That's all I hear, bro. The man makes no sense. And then you're going to throw something out like you know what you're talking about when it comes to the NBA. There's nothing in that statement that is relevant. Nothing in that statement that is factual. Makes no sense. I think we could actually play the clip, right, Pete?
Yeah, let's play the clip. Let's play the clip real quick just so we could hear this bozo try to ramble.
What needs to change and what can you do to help foster those changes? Well, so ultimately, myself and our staff are constantly looking to see what's available. Time of year is tough. April, May, June are not. You know, if you ask me a question of, you know, in the winter time or even March, like, hey, what's your biggest fear coming out in the early portion of the season? On behalf of all general managers, I would say you don't want to get wrecked with injuries early, because trying to, you know, go outside the organization to deal with that is pretty difficult, you know, in today's game. You know, things, you know, trying to get players.
He looks like the villain
players
from the Minion
elsewhere
movies
to fill your needs. It's not like the NBA with the the G League.
I actually feel bad playing this.
You can just pick and choose whatever you want, playing anywhere in the G League and pop them in if you have a rash of injuries. You just obviously have to have what you're dealing with internally here, and you know, and it just has not been good enough, you know, as we got navigating the first month of April. So, you know, the silver lining is at some point we'll be getting each of these individuals mostly back. You know, obviously we already know about the ones that we.
I agree 100%, Joe. This guy is the perfect example of clueless.
You know, obviously Montas won't be impacted until really late in the year. But in most cases, we're going to get these guys back.
Yeah, we got Yule1 in the chat. And they got two things in the chat. Again, the Yankees make the playoffs every year. It's one, and the Yankee fans complaining that the GM who every year builds a playoff team. What playoff team did he build this offseason? Did we go into did we come into the season with a starting left fielder or a platoon in left field? What playoff team is he building every year? I'm still confused.
I can't. There's no answer to that because he's not. He's not. I mean, we went into the season, and I mean, the biggest thing is Hicks right off the gate. The fact that we started the season with that man still on our team. Like, don't sit here and keep thinking that your fluff piece words are going to make a difference for us because we understand that you're full of whatever. Go ahead, bro.
No, but also too, you guys remember an all-star closer that the Houston Astros had called Mark Melancon? Do you guys remember that guy? He was a Yankee prospect that Brian Cashman decided to trade away for Lance Berkman for half of a season, who did nothing with the Yankees. Ian Kennedy, we traded him away, and he won 20 games with the Diamondbacks. What are we talking about?
He did go get us Rodon. I mean, that's working out really well.
Yeah, it definitely is. Mr. Carl Pavano 2.0, who we're not sure if he's even going to pitch this season for the Yankees. Come on. The course has ran its path. There's no more excuse for it, right? There's literally no more excuses for it. When it comes to Brian Cashman, we literally just went through almost 20 years of his trades with the Yankees. He missed out on Miguel Cabrera. He missed out on Max Scherzer. He didn't want to sign Randy Johnson because the money was too much and he was too old. But he traded for Randy Johnson years later for the same contract and the same value that it was. And then he gave him an extension for another season. Randy Johnson was supposed to be a free agent after 2005 and gave him an extension. What excuses do we have for that? After the 2004 season, when we needed a center fielder because we knew Bernie Williams couldn't play center field anymore, we traded Kenny Lofton to the Phillies for a reliever that's ERA was over 5 with the Yankees. What are we talking about? Did we have in 2005? Did we have a leadoff hitter? We had Tony Womack, who we put in center field and who was god awful. What are we talking about?
Super chat from Epic Warrior. Appreciate you. The fact that the Yankees, oops, I just lost it. The fact that the Yankees decide to run out the same types of lineup with home run or nothing BS, always right-handed. They don't prioritize contact. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, can you even sit here and say we prioritize anything?
No.
Heck, what does Cashman prioritize? Give me.
Do you know what they prioritize? Selling chicken tendies for $25, which by the way are pretty good. Them joints slap. They slap. I ain't gonna lie. Them things slap.
Don't talk bad about the chicken tendies. If he takes the chicken tendies away, we in trouble. That's the one highlight.
We got a $4.99 super chat in the chat. My guy Jack Dalton, Cubs fan here. I believe as long as Cashman is the GM of the Yankees, we will never win another you will never win another World Series. Astros will beat this team 5 or 6 games in the ALCS, bro. Yo,
Jack,
welcome. Even though you were Cubs fans,
exactly. Welcome, and thank you for spitting facts. But you are not coming to a room that disagrees with you, my guy. All right. Nope. Oh gosh, guys, we have Cubs fans coming to tell us that they agree with us. Cubs fans saying, let's be real, your GM, Brian Cashman, is doo-doo. Everybody sees it. Everybody.
You know you're a sad excuse as a GM if the New York Knicks front office is considered better than yours. This is the New York Knicks, who's been god-awful trash since I was in junior high school. But their front office is considered better than yours. Come on. How do you defend that? There's no defense of that. Let's go to the next tweet. Let's bring it up. My brother Pete Simonetti. Bring the next one up. Let's revisit the 2022 trade deadline. Andrew Benintendi, September 2nd, season-ending injury. Scott Efros, Tommy John surgery. Harrison Bedard missed all of April, and he was hurt when we first traded for him. Frankie Montas, who was MIA, had shoulder surgery February. Lou Trevino, Tommy John surgery. Add Carlos Rodon to that list because he hasn't pitched so far since the Yankees required him. What excuses do we have? Now, I get it. You cannot predict injuries. I understand that. But at the same time, there has to be somebody to be held accountable, whether it's our medical staff whoever it is, somebody needs to be held accountable for these injuries. How do you trade prospects away when we desperately need starting pitching prospects, and you trade for a guy who was already injured? And Frankie Montas, let's not act like nobody knew that he was injured, because everybody around baseball knew that Frankie Montas was injured. So you overpaid for a guy who was already injured.
Yeah, look, there's no justifying anything this man does, point blank. Right. But what really drives me crazy too, Heck, is we hear things about we have an amazing medical staff, right?
Where?
Like, you know, exactly. I don't care what the pictures on the wall say and where they graduated from and all their accolades. I look at what's being done. And how is it that every injury we have is the same freaking crap? Not just the fact that we get injured. We can't control that. But you can control the fact that every 1 week injury turns into a month, turns into 6 months, turns into an entire season. How is it we're having the guys have the same injuries as well over and over again? Nah. So,
bro, after
Cashman,
the Astros won the World Series, do you know what they did with their GM? They fired them. They let them go after winning the World Series to bring in a new GM. Why can't the Yankees do something like that? We have been told, 2009, he won a championship. What has he done since then? It's been 14 years of mediocrity.
And they just, mediocrity helps you fail forward, fail up, 4-year extension. Here you go. Doesn't make any freaking sense. I saw Pete put in the chat, one of the main problems has been diagnosing players. They never seem to have a clue. Facts.
Yes.
Right? Don Sicario, what's up, my guy?
Don Sicario, what it do?
Don't blame the staff. Cashman keeps bringing players with history of injuries.
Yes.
But that's my thing, right? We know those injuries are there. He knows it. He obviously has to run that by. He talks to the medical staff, possibly, right? Hey, what do you guys think? You know, what are your thoughts on the injury? Are they just sitting there fluffing him up and saying, "Oh yeah, boss, no problem, we can handle that, boss. Yeah, we're good." Because if that's the case, then there has to be some responsibility put on them as well. Everybody around Cash, if you're sitting there just saying, yeah, whatever you say, boss, you're a part of the freaking problem. So we can say from the top down, but to me, that also includes our medical staff. I know we replaced some pieces this year, but sorry, you are on the chopping block as well. At the end of this season, you need to be gone as well. Revamp everything.
It's amazing how you have some Yankee fans, and we'll get to the next tweet right now because we're going to talk about New York media, right? If you could bring up the next one. I got a fan of the Yankees say Yankees media are first ones to write their silly books and make money off of the historic 27 championships. But for 13 years, not a peep from the mean, bad NY media, while Hal and Cashman made the pinstripes just another uniform. Now look where we are at. And now somebody responded to them. We cannot buy championships. There are other teams competing. If you can't stand being in the top 10 and only want to be number one, stop being a Yankee fan. Be a bandwagon fan or for whatever is number one. Listen, Garcias, Ronaldo, whatever your last name is or first name is. We have been conditioned since we've been kids, since we've been watching this team in the 90s. Max. You got other fans from the 80s and 70s like Celso, not trying to age you, my guy, but you're a bit older than me. But we have fans from the Yankees from the 80s and 70s. We have been conditioned to believe from George Steinbrenner that every season is either championship or bust, even from our star players like Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill. You hear Paul O'Neill on the broadcast say that every year they had it in their mindset that it was either a championship team or it was a bust. It was a failure of a season. Now, somewhere, and I get it, George Steinbrenner passed away, but after George Steiner passed away from 2009 all the way to 2023, the philosophy of the Yankees has changed. And it's just basically, well, if you make it to the postseason, it's a success of a season. Of course, Hal Steinbrenner wants to make the postseason every year because when he's in the postseason, he gets bonus money from the MLB network when it comes to playoff revenue, when it comes to TV deals, when it comes to advertisement. He gets that. Right. But if he wins a championship, he would get a lot more. But he's just satisfied making the postseason and getting that extra bonus money. I don't know where the philosophy has changed or what has shifted, that this organization thinks that a World Series every year is not the motto. But for Brian Cashman to come out and said this is a world-class or World Series organization, where is it? I don't know where it's at. Where do you see a World Series operation?
I can't stand takes like that. They're like, oh, you're not happy with a top 10? I mean, that's literally like me saying, let's go watch a movie. And the ending always is you're never going to see a good ending. All right. It's always going to be that it fails, or it's always, like that makes no sense. You said it, bro. We've been conditioned for a reason. And why should we change because all of a sudden they're okay with just saying, we're okay to settle for mediocre? I'm sorry, top 10 or not. Still, the product we're putting out, if anybody can even sit here right now and say the product we have on the field this season is even mediocre, you're fooling yourself. Okay? That is literally the dumbest. I'm glad you found that tweet, bro. All right? Gracias, Reynolds, whatever. Obviously started drinking 3 days early because that was done on May 2nd. We get it. You started drinking, Papa, way before the 5th. But they're yanked. All right? That was the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Next.
Also, for people trying to pinpoint and say that, well, you can't blame everything on the Yankees. I'm not pointing this specifically at you guys, but there's no defending this, right? The Baltimore Orioles, they have a shortstop over there by the name of Jorge Mateo, who has a .321 batting average, 6 home runs, 19 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, 7 walks, and is playing Gold Glove defense. That's the prospect that we had and we traded for, Sonny Gray. That's who we gave up. He was in our system. Jorge Mateo was our prospect that we had, and we gave him up. Jorge Mateo is doing so well for the Baltimore Orioles, they decided to shift their top shortstop prospect, Gunnar Henderson, and turn him into a third baseman because Jorge Mateo is doing so well over there. That was our prospect. This past series that we had against the Texas Rangers, that young outfielder that was killing us, Ezekiel Duran, that's who we sent in the Joey Gallo trade. That's who we traded for Joey Gallo, and young outfielder that can help us out right now because we don't have nobody to play left field. Let's go to these super chats before we continue. I'll read the one from Rod. You can read the one from Ruben. Rod with the $9.99 super chat. I know the Yankees aren't going to win every year. My issue is that the Yankees aren't leaving no stone unturned to fill the best possible team. There was more than enough players available. Absolutely, Rob.
I mean, even Cashman said it in the conference, right? He said, oh, there's no trades on the horizon or something like that. Like, there's no trade viable right now. Like, what are you talking about? So I agree with Rob 100%. He is not turning over any rock, period. Okay? The guy is just expecting, and you said this the other day, Heck, and I want to replay it, is right now Cashman gets a pass in the media and all this stuff because the Knicks are doing good, because the Rangers had their thing going on, the Devils, the Islanders. So all that reporting is being focused on New York sports that are being done well right now. That shit's about to come to an end, okay? And the Yankees are going to be spotlight dead in center. And, oh, man, I can't wait to that moment because then maybe the rest, those 12,000 that keep showing up, 17,000 that keep showing up, when they start to realize, oh, crap, maybe it's not worth us spending this money to go be at the game today. Okay?
Yeah.
Ruben's $10 super chat. The moment the Yankees bought into average, doesn't matter. It went downhill. Besides Judge or Cano, how many other Yankees has Cashman gotten that can hit 280 plus a year in and year out?
No one.
Something I love.
No one.
I love this community's comments when they put them in there, bro. Like, you guys are so on point. You guys literally make the whole NYY News TV slogan of real talk for real fans. Like, literally, those are the type of comments I'm talking about. Same page.
Yeah. If you guys can, shout out to Jira in the chat, the top moderators of all the moderators. Jira, how you doing? A graduate from Pull That Shit Up University. But Jira just put in the chat right there. If you guys can go click the link that's right there, sub to our channel. We have a giveaway going on, and we're going to enter you guys if you sub to it right now. We told this, and we told everybody once we get to 500 subs, we will do a giveaway with Homage, which is our sponsor for the show. We are at 508 subs on that channel. But if you go and enter right now, the giveaway will come out Tuesday. You guys will be entered at the last minute for that giveaway, whether it's a Yankee sweater, whether it's a Knicks sweater, whether it's a Giants or Jets sweater. You guys get it from our sponsor, Homage. All you got to do is just subscribe to our channel, and Tuesday on the Yankees Morning Brew, the winner will be announced on that show.
Yeah,
but
we've
make
got
sure you guys
giveaways.
enter the
We
convo.
got cards that are being given away. We got Yankees cards. We got all kinds of stuff. So appreciate you guys' support. You just go over there, hit the smash, and then when you come back here, you just smash it a like for the boys. Oh,
you see this nice little tumbler? There'll be a
right
Yankee tumbler that you guys will be able to get as well if you enter for the giveaway. How you doing? We'll have multiple giveaways, not just one. But let's get back to the conversation. Brian Cashman sucks, point blank, period. All right, on to the next. Let's pull up the next one right now, Pete. If you can, help us out. And it's our guy Michael K. And this page doesn't exist anymore because it was deleted by the original creator.
let me go in on this one. We all saw it. I know you did, chat. The guy that got up in Michael K's DMs, and Michael K wrote back. And Michael K, let's be real, we don't like to give Michael K any credit, and we won't. All right, but we got to give a little credit here that he cooked the living shit out of this kid. All right, in the DMs. And the kid, first of all, my guy, you're an idiot. Not because you reached out to Michael K, not because you're crap talking, but the fact that he responded to you, whether you got cooked or not, why would you delete the tweet? Why? You were actually getting attention and everybody was commenting on it. You, stupido, what are you doing, bro? Like, that alone gets you yanked. But let's be real. Michael Cook. I said he got cooked. Michael Cook. Michael K went in, and let's be real. He knew it was the right time to go in because he actually had an entire game where he didn't make a comment that fell under the praising of Cashman and all that. Yeah. So it worked in his favor. But man, he smacked that kid around.
He's Michael K is starting to feel it, right? And I'm always going to throw this out there, right? Growing up watching the Yankees, Michael K was the voice of the Yankees when I was a child. When I was coming up watching the Yankees, that's who I had was Michael K. So I'm always going to have a level of respect for Michael K. But over the past few years, especially recently this year on his show, the way that he is coming at us fans, saying some fans are real fans, some fans are just buffoon fans. The Yankees don't run their organization by listening to the fans. That's not how you run an organization. I'm going to tell you this. In the 90s, when the New York Mets was going through that up and down phase that they was trying to figure out what they were doing, WFAN and the New York Mets fan base started a whole petition, started a whole movement to trade for Mike Piazza. If it wasn't for WFAN and the New York Met fans calling every day that they wanted that organization to trade for Mike Piazza would have never been a Met. So you cannot tell me that the people in the front office, that the powers that be, do not listen to sports radio and do not tune into what the fans are saying, because that is utter bullshit. Right? Sorry to curse. I just had to throw it out there. You guys know I don't like cursing that much on live, right? But when we're talking about it, you say that you aren't an apologist, right, for Brian Cashman. But when you got Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg calling you out on your own show, saying that, yes, that's what you do, you know you're doing it. Because you are doing it. How many times have we heard from Michael K on his show that, you know what, if Brian Cashman is let go, he'll be picked up by another franchise like that? How many times have you heard that? It is the most sorry excuse that I've heard from Michael K or anybody defending this man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and again, listen, I understand, and no defending in any way. Yeah, when you have a job, you have to play a little bit of corporate, whatever. But when you go completely sell out, when you go completely, like, how can you sit there and even bother listening to the crap that comes out of their mouth? Like, how do you feel good when the show's over to sit there and be like, oh, we nailed that? Like, does he end the show and he's just like, oh my God, I can't believe I had to say that again? Like, at what point do you realize you cannot defend garbage when it's being done and thrown in the fans' faces? And the biggest thing that pisses me off is, don't tell people how to fan. Who are you to tell us as Yankee fans what's the right way for us to fan? Who are you? Okay, like, seriously, if I want to be pissed about what I spend my money on when it comes to our Yankees, I should be allowed to do that. But if I was just talking out of my ass just to talk out of my ass, that's a different story. But everything we talk about is freaking facts. So don't sit here and give me the, the good and bad fans. You're full of crap. The good fans are the ones that are willing to sit there and tell you to your face, you're talking garbage. We're not happy with the product. We want to see change. Why aren't you helping that movement, company man?
Exactly. Jack Dalton with the $4.99 super chat. I'm a new subscriber to Pete's channel. Thanks to his live streams he did with Bad Dog Sports the other day. Happy to be following your channel.
Welcome to the
salute.
Welcome.
Out to everybody in the chat. If you guys can, please hit that like button for the boys, because this is a very juicy conversation that we're having right now. Even my dog is agreeing with us. He is over there barking that the Yankees should let go of Brian Cashman. That's what. First of all, that's a bad impersonation of my dog.
The funny thing is, I can see
my
your dog.
Don't
now
look
that I
like
met
that.
your dog, and I can see it just sitting there with its little head going. First of all, you know what? Hold on. Totally off topic, but I went on a walk with Hector to walk his dog. All right. And there was this raccoon, and Hector and his dog just act like it's normal. Like, oh, that's Big Bertha over there. I was like, what the? And that raccoon scared the living, bro.
Listen, I live in Washington Heights. I live in Dykeman in the Inwood area, right by Inwood Park. Listen, you don't mess with the raccoons over there, right? The raccoons over there, they pay taxes and they're members of our society. So leave them alone. All right.
That raccoon was bigger than your dog. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna get him. It's gonna get your dog, bro.
Yeah, facts. But Pete, if you could bring up the next topic for us to have the conversation about. It's about us Yankee fans and our optimism when it comes to this team, especially for this season. Shout out to Dom, the Bronx Bomber. He says, this game is a prime reason why I still have faith in the Yankees. If they could win a game like this with an injury-rattled team, just imagine whenever Rodon, Stanton, Sevy, and Canley, et cetera, come back. Good pitching is crucial. I'm 50-50 with this, right? Because, yes, he just named a bunch of injuries that we had. Ever since Giancarlo Stanton got injured, we was 13-8 when he got injured, and I haven't seen an update about Giancarlo Stanton. But we can't just rely on our guys to come back from injury, because even if they do come back, they need time to figure it out themselves. Brian Cashman has to be proactive and go out there, just like in 2019 when Giancarlo Stanton missed majority of the season. He traded for Edwin Encarnacion. Every time I hear the last name Encarnacion, I think of Nacho Libre. Encarnacion, right? But he has to be proactive, start calling up teams and try to find somebody that we could put in the outfield or somebody we could put in the middle of this lineup, because we desperately need it. I know Willie Calhoun has been hitting over the past couple of weeks because he heard Pete Seminetti talking ish about him, right? I know we got Mr. 24, Jack Bowers is up here, right? So we still need someone else. We definitely do.
It's funny because now all I hear is Nacho Libre in my head. I've had the diarrhea since Easter, but we had another super chat that came in. Epic Warrior, appreciate you, my guy. Kay saying the fans shouldn't have World Series or bust mindset. Till Cashman dies, he will be the GM to the next decade. Don't get me started with Mike Fishman. Ooh,
oh, God.
Go ahead, Epic. I'm glad you're here. All right. That's the energy you need on a Get Yanked Friday. Okay. But I'm on the same page with you, Heck. I get it. I'm 50-50 on that tweet as well. We say it all the time. We should still be grateful that we even have the record we have right now with the amount of injuries we have. Right? Yes, we don't want our team to tank. We don't want to lose. We want to win. So yes, do we hope that we get to that point of the reserves coming and things keep going? Problem is, I look at all these injuries, I look at all the mistakes, and I look at a guy by the name of Garrett Cole, who is having a phenomenal season and possibly can be wasted because of the moves that we've made. Okay. I see a guy who keeps going out in left field that doesn't even jog to not even jog. Okay. It's like he's too good to run for a ball. Okay. He's too good to make any moves. It's frustrating as hell. Okay. So yes, I'm grateful that we are lucky enough to be in the spot that we're in, that we're still in a decent spot with all the injuries we have, but we cannot keep making excuses. I'm done with making excuses, bro. You missed me with that tweet. Get yanked. Get out of here. I'm sorry.
No, 100%. That's 100% a get yanked. When you look at this batting lineup, right? Oswald Cabrera, who us Yankee fans, we all love. He's batting 196. I know Harrison Bader just came back, but he's batting 143. Willie Calhoun, if it wasn't for this past week, he would have been batting below 200 as well. DJ LeMahieu is batting 260. Gleyber Torres, who is LI Yankee King's favorite Yankee, is batting 236. LI was on the show on the open panel this past Thursday saying that the Yankees got to trade Gleyber Torres. Now, if LI Yankee King is saying that we got to trade Gleyber Torres, something is up in the air.
For real.
Something is going wrong.
All right. Seriously.
100%. You want to take that super chat in there?
Yeah, go ahead. Hold on, wait. Let me just catch it up real quick. Jake, again with another $4.99 super chat. The Yankees' offense is so inconsistent. You cannot rely on your injured guys to come back. One player doesn't define a team. Astros won a World Series without Carlos Correa. Absolutely. And like Pete says, my man Eli is bipolar absurd.
Yes, but he accepts it.
Yes. Anthony Medina's in the chat. I didn't even realize Medina was in the building. I apologize, Medina, my brother. Salute to you. Like Jura said, we are 29 likes away from 100. So if you guys can just smack that like button, help us get to 100. Now, I got to read off some stuff real quick before we go on to the next and final topic. But obviously, we know that the Steinbrenners, they're not going to sell the team. We know that. They're going to stay with this franchise forever. But everybody else in that front office, Randy Levine, he's on the hot seat. Leon Trost, who is the chief operating officer, is on the hot seat. Brian Cashman, Gene Afterman, Doug Bayer, Anthony Bruno, Alan Chang, Marty Greenspun, Sonny Height, Scott Krug, Mike Lane, Michael Mellis, Brian Smith, Michael Tassani, Deborah Timon, Kevin Dart, Michael Fishman. I can't stand Michael Fishman. Daniel Galvin, Leslie Hanley, Mark Holtzman, Tim Naring, Damon Oppenmeyer, who I cannot stand because that last name is stupid, Kevin Reese, Aaron Sobo, and Jason Zilli. All of you guys are on the hot seat. I just listed out the Yankees' entire front office. Make sure you find their Instagrams and comment naughty stuff under their pictures. Okay,
yeah, don't do naughty stuff, but feel free to message every single one of them with a nice get yanked. That's it. Just give them a nice get yanked. They all need to go. Listen, the man said, put the blame on me. Well, thank you. We already were. So now that you're telling us it's okay to, thank you, sir, for your permission. But good news. It's you. It's your entire staff around you. It's all of you. We wish you nothing more than to get yanked and get out. Get out. Get out.
My guy, Philo Ramos. Shout out to Philo Ramos. He says, my dog plays better left field than Aaron Hicks. Listen, my grandmother, who has a missing toe because of diabetes, plays a better left field than Aaron Hicks, all right? Get me out of here.
And Plate Warp, we hear you. They ain't going nowhere. We know, Plate Warp. That's the point.
If they don't switch it up, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
I said it the other day. This isn't a chase for 28, bro. I literally feel like we're running away from 28. We are running so far away from 28.
Hold on. All right, my guy. Shout out to my guy, NYY News, Ruben in the chat. He just sent me a DM on Twitter. Yankees top 9 average hitters in the last week. Bowers, who's batting .333. Rizzo's hitting .289. Stanton's .269. Judge is .261. LeMahieu is .260. Calhoun is .250. Trevino is .246. Torres is .236. Volpe is .221. Those are the Yankees' top 9 average hitters for this season. Now, let's look at the Tampa Bay Rays. They got a hitter who's hitting .338. Another guy, .329, .327, .325, .290, .263, .250, .244, and .241. They have an overall team batting average of .278. The Yankees have an overall team batting average of .228. There is a massive drop-off. Brian Cashman needs to get yanked every day.
You know what's crazy, bro? You know what's crazy, bro, is you would think as a GM, if you have a fan base that's telling you, get rid of these guys, switch it up, like they're calling for your head. So why not take that out while you can and say, you know what, you guys are right. Get rid of Hicks, get rid of Donaldson, make all these moves, just dump them, do what you got to do. No one's going to be mad at you. We're going to be happy that you actually made the moves you're supposed to make. Why would you not take that out? Why would you spend the time and give yourself agita to sit there and be like, guys, it's going to be okay. Trust the process. Screw you in your process.
The Yankees,
what process?
They have a team batting average of .228. They are tied at 27 in all of Major League Baseball with the Cleveland Guardians when it comes to batting average. The Yankees are 27th in the entire Major Leagues when it comes to batting average. The teams that's below them is Detroit, Oakland, and Seattle. Those are the only teams that we're better at when it comes to hitting. We are 27th. How is that okay? How is this the Yankee way?
Yeah, because
how is that a World Series caliber
even if you look at the
operation?
injuries, bro, even if you look at the injuries, that's fine. Okay, so take Judge off right now. Take Stanton. You still don't put a lineup out there that's worth a damn. You don't go get us any lefties that really are going to help the lineup. Like, at the end of the day, even when we have Judge, Stanton, and them back, what do we usually see? The long ball from them, right? That's what we rely on. So at the end of the day, the average is still going to look like doo-doo. So stop making it seem like he has an out. Jack with another super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. If George Steinbrenner was still with the team, when do you think Boone and Cashman would have been gone? Any specific year, if you had to guess?
If we had to guess, I would say after last year, right? Definitely after last year, how Aaron Boone used his bullpen from the analytic guys saying that Clark Smith should have been out there, bringing in Frankie Montage in the ALDS for an inning and the ALCS last year, after last season, after last postseason, they both would have been let go by George Steinbrenner. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Listen, the only reason, and this is what blows my mind, the only reason that Aaron Boone is the manager for this team is because Joe Girardi was too mean to Gary Sanchez. I'm gonna say that again. I'm gonna say that again.
Well, hold on.
I'm gonna say that again.
Say
it again. The only reason Aaron Boone is the manager for this team is because Joe Girardi was a meanie to Gary Sanchez, bro.
Wait. You mean the same Gary Sanchez that was like a 124 batting average in AAA and just got released? That guy?
Yes, that Gary Sanchez, who the San Francisco Giants kicked to the curb
because of that guy.
Yes, and at least Joe Girardi, even though Joe Girardi was let go by the Phillies, let's give Joe Girardi his praise. He knew how to manage the bullpen. When it came to that bullpen, Joe Girardi was a chess player among people playing checkers when it came to managing his bullpen. Our best years from our bullpen was when Joe Girardi was our manager. After Joe Girardi left, our bullpen has not been top 5 in Major League. Yeah. And there's a specific reason.
And let's be real. Yeah, we all had qualms with different things with Girardi. But if anybody can sit here and tell me you don't wish Girardi was at the helm over Aaron Boone right now, you're crazy. Like
we got breaking news. We got oh my God. Carlos Rodon will have a cortisone injection as soon as possible. Aaron Boone said medical consensus is that it will help him get back on the mound.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. 2025.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. As somebody that, and you guys know me, people who know me personally or whatever outside of this, you guys know that I've been dealing with my own back issues over the past 2 years when I got injured on the job. I have gotten 5 cortisone injections in my back. I have gotten 5 in my neck, and I'm still dealing with the pain right now. It's literally about to be the 2-year anniversary.
And you ain't pitching. And you ain't pitching.
And I'm not pitching. All I do is get on YouTube and talk a lot of caca. That's all I do. I can just imagine how Carlos Rodon is going to react to this because that hurts.
I mean, and that tells it right there.
Epidural shots.
You're looking at
those are the worst things to get.
I mean, if you're getting cortisone shots and you're still, that's just step 1 to see if it helps. Now we're looking July, right? Minimum. It's got to be minimum. If we even see him come back, it has to be July at this point. Has to be. Real quick, it's been a second since we said it. Hector, breathe. For those of you in the chat, hit the like for the boys. Let's clap them up. You heard the lady. Jill's in the chat. She told you smash the like of the button. All right, let's do it. Smash the
like button for you get a chancleta to your head. You don't want the chancleta coming through your phone or your TV screen, all right? So hit that like button. Booger Brain says, I hear you, Hector. I have DDD in my back. Steroid shots don't work after. Yeah,
exactly.
Like I literally have onset spinal stenosis. That's the injury that David Wright got, and he was forced to retire from baseball for the same injury that I got, right? So when it comes to your back, it's a tricky situation. So the fact that he is getting MRI, and this is just a cortisone shot, right? To try to alleviate and bring down the swelling of the disc that he has in his back. They really don't know what's going on with his back. It could be some micro tears in there that are not popping up on your traditional MRI imaging, right? So they really don't know what's wrong with him. They're giving him the cortisone shot, hoping that it brings down the swelling and his back doesn't have that stiffness. That's why when you saw that right there from Brian Hoach, they didn't have a diagnosis. They just said they're giving him cortisone shots.
Right. Yeah, dude. I've got L2, L4, and both of those discs. I've taken the shot. I had to after rehab and all that. Did it take a little bit of the pain away? Yeah. Did it last long? No.
So you're not going to sit here and convince me, oh, cortisone so we can get it back on the mound. Are we idiots? Like, really?
Like,
we're supposed to just believe that?
Not to joke around, but every time that you guys see me on my computer chair, I'm sitting on a donut. I am literally sitting on a donut because of the pain that I'm going through with my back. But let's bring up the last and final topic.
Okay.
First of all, don't be shitting on the squatty potty. Squatty potties are the truth, all right?
The unicorn video. All right, go ahead.
When you look at this weekend coming up, we got some good games in baseball, right? You got the Dodgers versus the Padres. The Dodgers are 19-13. The Padres are 17-15. You got the Orioles versus the Braves. The Yankees versus the Rays. The Blue Jays versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. So you got to give credit to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then the Houston Astros versus the Seattle Mariners. But if you got to give credit, the biggest surprise to me in all of baseball has been the Pittsburgh Pirates. The fans in Pittsburgh deserve what's going on in Pittsburgh, not the ownership, because the ownership group, that's a whole nother story. But the fans in Pittsburgh deserve a product that they can root for, and I'm happy that they have one. And they're doing all of this without O'Neal Cruz, who broke his ankle on a freak accident at home plate. So happy that the Pittsburgh Pirates, even though they're like on a 5-game losing streak right now, hopefully they could turn that around, and hopefully it's just not a whole first month flash in the pan type of thing with the Pirates.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've talked about it, bro. Pirates and Rays, two teams that are just really top of their game right now. Like you said, even though they're on that little 5-game skid, I mean, they're showing out. So those are definitely some dope games. Again, because we are the Yankees, we make the list of, these are must-watch games. But, you know, as a Yankee fan, are you going into this like, this is going to be an epic battle versus the Rays? I'm not.
I'm nervous, bro, because we are literally 8 or 9. We're 9 games behind the Tampa Bay Rays. After this series, bro, we can literally we have 7 games with them over the next 10 days, right? Or it's over the next 10 games. 7 of them is with Tampa Bay. We can literally be 15 games behind in this division if we don't turn it around versus them right now.
Yeah, and look, I hope our boys do it. I would love for us to walk away with at least 4 or 5. We need at least 4 of them, you know, to keep ourselves in that. So, yeah, we're not hoping that anybody loses. We're not hoping we, shit the bed. But you cannot tell me you go into this expecting it to be like, we got this handled. No problem. Not with the decisions that are being made from Boone, not with the way the pitching's going in, not when you're pulling out starters that are looking really good and then going to a freaking Clay Holmes or a Clark piece of Schmidt. I'm sorry. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Man, and I'm not even sure if Garrett Cole is going to pitch in this series because, at least if we had Garrett Cole on the mound, we have some type of confidence. I'm not confident with Johnny Brito. You got Nestor Cortez getting strep throat out there. I'm not confident with him. I'm not confident, with Clark Smith. Domingo Germán is shaky up and down. Garrett Cole's pitching game 3. Okay, so it's Brito, Germán, and Cole. At least we got an opportunity with Cole out there. But then I
haven't lost faith in Brito yet. I think he's getting it together. Germán, I'm sold on, right? If he keeps coming out the way he is. Cole, no brainer. But like you just said it, bro. We can have great pitching, but the offense isn't producing. And how many games has Trevino had to be the one to come in at the bottom to take care of us? So hopefully Trevino can keep, hitting some walk-offs for us to celebrate 3 or 4 runs in a game. I'm sorry. I don't get excited about us celebrating 3 or 4 runs in a game to squeak out a win.
Shout out to my guy, Nick Yak in the chat. Nick Yak, what it do, my guy? Salute, 3 capital S's. Nick Yak says, I'm in a wheelchair and don't think I can play a better left field, but I think I might be able to out-hit him. Listen, Nick Yak, we'll soup up your wheelchair with all the extra little juice you need so you can play left field. Because I'd rather have you out there in left field than Aaron bleeping Hicks. I tell you that right now. We went into the season
and the fact that he said he's confident he's a better hitter. Let's go.
Jesus Christ. But, bro, we're getting close to that time. Let's get out of here before Pete gets upset with us. But shout out to the chat. Sunil, team of the decade. My guy Rick, who was in the chat. Medina, salute to you. Tyler Tabbitt, of course, the lovely Jera. Like always, my brother Pete Seminetti for giving us this platform and this opportunity. Shout out to the entire NYY News TV family. And if you guys can, please go over to the Morning Brew Sport, sub to the channel so you can enter in our contest when it comes to our giveaway. But like always, let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you have tuned in to another episode of Get Yanked. I'm your guy, Hector, aka Project Nerd HQ, with my brother Jigga Man Pots and Pans Porto. And if you ain't down with us, we got 2 words for you.
Yeah, yanked.
Yanked. Oh, yeah, baby.
You can't manage this, can't break this, boy, I'm funded. Gotta keep my distance when you not 100, Both the same ones say they loyal, they funny, You can't match my energy, and yeah, you know it, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, Yes, I meant it, yeah, man, I'm way too cold,